Austin housing prices skyrocketed in 2020. What does that mean for us right now, and what can we expect for the year ahead? I'm sorry, if you hear snoring in the background of this, it's my dog. He's really loud. He's so loud. All right, so here's what happened in 2020. We started off the year with the pandemic. Austin real estate really slowed to a crawl the first half of the year, which is super unusual because we usually see a really quick boom in the spring and summer markets. All of that got pushed into like the middle of the summer when all of a sudden buyers went nuts and the market flooded with people who wanted to buy houses. So last year we had a slow first half, and then the second half was super duper busy with tons of buyers who were also excited because interest rates went down last year. So interest rates went from like middle 4% down to like below 3. And that brought a ton of new buyers into the market who wanted to buy houses. We didn't have enough houses for them because there are a lot of people who didn't want to sell during a pandemic. So they didn't want to have people coming in and out of their houses. So all of that led to a serious imbalance in supply and demand. We know that when there's way more demand than supply, prices go up. So we saw between January of 2020 and January of 2021, the preliminary data is showing us a 20% increase in median sales prices in Austin. And that's both sales price and price per square foot. So it runs the whole gamut of houses in Austin area. All right, so if you are a homeowner in the Austin area, the value of your home has increased significantly over the past year. If you've been considering selling at all, now would be a very good time to do that. All right, so what's ahead for 2021? Well, we have no crystal ball. Clearly, we don't know what's coming. We know that we have a brand new administration in. We don't know what tax changes are on the horizon, and we don't know how that's going to impact our economy. We also know that there is the issue of foreclosures potentially looming. You're hearing a lot of people talk about a bubble in housing prices. If you remember, last March, the CARES Act was passed. That allowed current homeowners to take what they called forbearance on their mortgage for almost a whole year. So if you had a mortgage, you could sort of push pause on your payments for a while. We also know that mortgage relief deadlines were just extended. So if you've taken forbearance, you can actually potentially extend that forbearance another 180 days. So some borrowers may be able to do that. What we know about this right now is that in October, CoreLogic, which is a huge housing data compiler company, said that 6.1% of mortgages were in some sort of delinquency, meaning people were behind on their payments. 6.1% is really high. That is up from the year before, October 2019, it was at 3.7%. So we saw a huge jump in there. We know there's a lot of people out there who are behind and not able to make payments. If that's you, sell right now while your house is worth a lot and before you get behind on your payments too far or before you get into a short sale situation. If there's any chance you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage, take the forbearance and sell right now. All right, so that is what is happening nationally. What about Austin? Do we expect foreclosures in Austin? Again, we don't know for sure, but what we do know is that Austin has long been an undervalued market when you compare it to markets like Nashville, Atlanta, Denver, similar type areas where housing has been much more expensive than Austin, and for whatever reason we've stayed affordable up until now. So now we've got a ton of people moving into Texas more than ever before, fueled by the pandemic. We're seeing the values rise, and we believe that Austin is now coming more into line with these other markets. And there's reason to believe that it's not going to burst because we're going to continue having that influx of people that have lots of money to spend on housing. Also, many economic studies have shown that before the pandemic hit, the average homeowner in Austin had more of a white-collar job. So what they're saying is basically if you were able to buy a house in Austin, then you probably have the type of job that was safe in the pandemic. So predictions are right now that we're not going to see as many foreclosures in Austin as we will in other areas, simply because the people who own houses have jobs that have been safe and they presumably are not as behind on payments here. Most of the people who were really strongly impacted in Austin were renters, is what economists are believing right now. All right, so bottom line with all of this, looking into 2021, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. We know there's a whole lot of dynamics at play in the Austin housing market that are in conflict and constantly changing. But what we do know is that there are not enough houses for the buyers that want to buy right now. So if you have considered selling, now is a very good time to sell while values are definitely high and while inventory is low and there are hungry buyers everywhere. If you're interested in doing that, please reach out. We'd love to help you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and we'll see you next time.